Manager, fire this worker. Time to have some fun. I'm new to this subreddit, but I've seen enough r/videos on YouTube to know how these stories go. A brief background. I'm Middle Eastern who lives in the United Arab Emirates, in the capital of Abu Dhabi. I'm a local, but I don't look it, as my mother is from Egypt, and I would get mistaken for other nationalities often. On to the story. My niece got a new pet about a month ago from one of her friends, a 5-month-old German Shepherd, and she's the cutest thing ever in my opinion. Unfortunately, the friend didn't bring enough food for the puppy, so I went the next day to a hypermarket nearby to buy her some food. I was told she liked a particular brand, so I decided to go inside without a cart or basket to see if they had it, then go back out for a cart. On my way to the pet food aisle, I heard shouting and yelling from close by, and out of curiosity, I went to check it out. I saw one of the workers and a wild Karen. While she didn't look like a Karen, she sure as hell acted like one, screaming at the poor guy about how incompetent and rude he is, and ignoring her when she was trying to get his attention. And of course, she was yelling for a manager. That's when she turned around and locked eyes with me, and made a beeline to where I was. Now keep in mind the worker's uniform is a yellow or light blue shirt with the hypermarket name on it in big letters, and the managers wear full suits. I'm wearing black jeans and a dark blue shirt. Also, majority of the staff were either from India or the Philippines. Now for the cast. OL, obnoxious lady. PW, poor worker. M, manager. Me, yours truly. OL. You, manager. This employee of yours was very rude to me. He ignored me when I was trying to get his attention for 10 minutes and is refusing to help me and yelled at me. I want him fired. The first thought that came to mind was to tell her that I didn't work there. But after seeing the condition PW was in, I decided to have some fun. Now my English has a good American accent, but I also have a fairly decent Indian accent. So without hesitation, I switched my accent to Indian mode. Yeah, I'm not gonna butcher that accent. Me. I'm so sorry, madame. We've had many complaints about this problem worker. Don't worry, I will discipline him. And as a form of apology, please go about your shopping, and at the cashier, just give them my name, Roger Patel, and tell them I approved a 40% discount on the total sum for you. Oh well, at least the managers know how to treat paying customers. I went to PW, grabbed his arm, and started walking away. Berated him along the way until we made a turn, and we were out of sight of OL. That's when PW said, "Am I in trouble?" It seemed PW was new, and also mistook me for a manager. And he thought he was going to be fired. Poor guy. Me, I'm not a manager, and you're not in any trouble. I just wanted to get you away from her. And I walked away, waving him a goodbye. I grabbed a cart and went on to buy my puppy her chow, and some other things for her. Some toys, a new collar, leash, and a comfy bed, and some other items for myself. After I grabbed what I needed, I made my way to the cashier. That's when I heard a familiar screaming and yelling. And sure enough, there was OL, arguing with one of the cashiers and an actual manager, trying to convince them that she was allowed the huge discount on all her items, a full cart's worth, while I was laughing on the inside. Then she spotted me, pointed at me and yelled, OL, that's him, that's Roger Patel, the manager who approved my discount. The manager and cashier both looked at me with confusion in their eyes, and the manager said, Ma'am, that gentleman doesn't work here. OL, yes he does. Why else would he give me the discount? He was even disciplining one of your workers. M and OL made their way to me, and I acted like I didn't know what was going on. M, pointing at OL, excuse me, sir, do you know this lady? Me switching on my American accent. No, I've never seen this woman before. Oh well, you're lying. I talked to you about that lazy, rude worker of yours, and you gave me the discount as an apology. Me. Lady, do I look like I work here? I'm a customer just like you. It was at that moment PW walked by. OL pointed at him and said, "There, that's the worker that I complained about to this manager." M called PW over and asked him, "Have you seen the gentleman as the lady before?" Okay. PW looked at me and OL and said, "No sir, I haven't." OL, don't lie, I was talking to you 30 minutes ago when you refused to help me. PW, madam, this is the first time I'm seeing you or this gentleman. Maybe you have me confused with another worker. M nodded and told PW to go back to work. And as PW walked away, he looked at me with a smile and a thumbs up, which no one saw. OL was fuming with a face that was redder than a ripe tomato. I turned to M. Me. Sir, you're obviously wearing a suit, like all the other managers working here, and I'm wearing casual. Who in their right mind would confuse a customer with a worker or manager? M, in an agreeing nod. Sorry to disturb you, sir. Have a nice day. I nodded back, paid for my items, and walked away, with OL still screaming and cussing until M ended up calling security to escort her out of the building. And I went home with the puppy chow, the rest of her stuff, and the biggest grin on my face. Sorry, usually I try to reword sentences if they're mistyped, but in this situation, I could figure out generally what they were trying to say, but not the exact wordage. I do actually work here, sir. Pretty short one, but I thought it was amusing. So 2 or 3 years ago, I was a revenue office assistant at a major Midwest zoo. One of my jobs was to, once or twice a week, go around to all the vending machines in the zoo, remove the bills, replace any change that was running low, and make a note of products that were out. Usually I'd be driven to each location by a security officer with a golf cart, due to not wanting to walk miles around a massive zoo alone with a bag full of money. Not to mention, it was often super hot out, and not having to walk around in restrictive dress pants in 100 plus degrees heat was a blessing. Plus, most of the security staff were pretty cool, and I liked hanging out with them if I could. It was a fairly busy day at the zoo, and I was being driven to one of the really faraway machines by my favorite security guard. We passed a few people on the path, and he dropped me off at the machine so I could get to work. I pulled out my keys to start opening up the exterior door of the vending machine as the people we passed caught up to us. I hear the guy say to his wife, "Oh look, she's special." Then louder to me, "Well, aren't you special?" I shot him a confused look and keep working. "You get to be escorted just to get a soda?" His wife kinda tugged on his sleeve and mumbled, "Honey, I think she works here." But he didn't care. He was ready to go off on me. I unlocked the first lock and went on to the second. "Don't we all wish we could have our own cop to..." I finished unlocking the door and swung it open while making eye contact with him. "Oh," he says, and rushes off, avoiding eye contact with me. His wife again says, "I told you she worked here." I have no idea how it wasn't obvious I was an employee. Despite not wearing a zookeeper uniform, I still had a zoo name badge, a photo ID on my belt, a radio, a zoo issue cash bag, and a big set of keys. The security officer was silently watching the whole thing, and we had a good laugh about it. I hope Mr. Soda Man made a stop by the petting zoo later to relieve some stress. Unless this guy just got mugged, or something similar, and he called out to a security officer or a cop to come save him and no one showed up, then I don't know why it would bug him if someone got escorted by a cop or security officer. I mean, even if she wasn't an employee, what difference would it make? Apologies for the short break there, guys. I had some personal stuff I had to get sorted out, but we're full steam ahead from here on out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the stories. And if you did and you're new around here, maybe consider subscribing. And if you really liked it, then maybe give it a thumbs up and a share. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.